You can start whenever.
Oh. Hello, my name is Jamie Gardner, and I'm a program advisor on the Emergency Management Unit at Indigenous Services Canada. I'm calling in today from the traditional and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you for including me virtually. So I'm pleased to speak with you a little bit about what we do on the emergency management unit. For any of you who are working on COVID-19 response or who have led some of the work to respond to floods and wildfires in your community, perhaps we've met each other. Often it's good when you haven't met somebody from the EM team. However, in my case, I predominantly work in emergency preparedness, so I hope I have met a lot of you, and if I haven't, I look forward to working with you in the future. So at ISC, we have a program called the Emergency Management Assistance Program, which provides supports to First Nations over the 4 pillars of emergency management, including preparedness, mitigation, response, and recovery. We also have a service agreement with the province through our partners at Emergency Management British Columbia and BC Wildfire Services to ensure that First Nations have access to the provincial platform. When it comes to responding and recovering from an emergency event, um, our program activates to support you on a needs basis. On our Slack channel, you will have information for my colleague Belinda Coe and my manager Duncan Stephen, who lead this work. If you unfortunately find yourself in an emergency event, we will work with you and our provincial colleagues to look to support your response and recovery needs. Since our program is nationally based, it may be possible that we'll be able to support some of the response recovery costs that go over and beyond what the province is able to reimburse you through their program. On our Slack channel, you'll also have a link to what's called our Building Back Better policy. So I would invite you to read that document, and we're available for any questions. I work predominantly on the front end of emergency management, so preparedness and what we call non-structural mitigation, because the mitigation portion is work that we would work in collaboration with our partners on the community infrastructure side. So this program is actually a proposal-based process. It's just a 2-page proposal that you need to submit. And again, on our Slack channel, you'll have access to that 2-pager. And so within this program, ISC can provide you with funding to support your EM planning needs. I understand that you're all planners here, so this program might be of interest to you. So what kind of planning or preparedness work is eligible within this program? We have quite a few different sorts of options. So for example, if you want to develop or update your emergency management or response or evacuation plan, there's funding available there. You might want to exercise that plan. It's one thing to develop it, it's another thing to then put your community through some sort of emergency management exercise or drill. We're also able to provide support for emergency management training, though our great partners at Emergency Management BC also do have training available for you. So I also invite you to reach out to them, and I understand that they will be at this conference virtually as well. Also, you might want to conduct a hazard risk vulnerability assessment or do a floodplain mapping. Apologies, a bit of yeah, losing my words. And also, we've heard from lots of communities that traditionally within our program, it's great that you're trained up in emergency management, but then when it comes time to activate your EOC, you didn't have access to EOC kits. So I'm pleased to share that our program has amended its terms and conditions. So now you can also apply for funding for an emergency operations center kit. If you're a coastal First Nation and you have the risk of a tsunami, a tsunami siren is also eligible. So there's a whole slew of different aspects that you can apply for to prepare your community in an emergency event. So on our Slack channel, you have the contact details of our entire team. So I look forward to speaking with you in the near future with regard to your emergency preparedness needs. Also, as you may also be working on, unfortunately, through COVID-19, all of us have, taken on some additional responsibilities. I'd like to put my hands up in the air to, to really support you and to recognize all of the incredible work that you're doing on the ground to ensure that your community members are safe and well. At ISC, we're also working in partnership with our partners at EMBC and FNHA to support First Nations through this. So I also, you might be aware of the Indigenous Community Support Fund, and this funding was provided to First Nations, so that Indigenous leadership at your discretion can, make the decisions to do what you need to do to keep your community members safe and well. And that funding has also flowed through the Emergency Management Assistance Program. So also always pleased to speak with you about any of your COVID-19 needs. I think I've spoken a lot, so just wishing you a wonderful couple of days and wishing really, really well in this first virtual meeting. I was about to say annual, but let's hope it's not annual. I hope that in the near future we can all come together physically and work together. But in the meantime, always available to speak with you by phone, by email, by Zoom, and wishing you all really, really well. Thank you.